When you have Snoop's spirit, who needs instruments? The Voice. Battle of Champions coaches demonstrated why they are the most entertaining team on TV by celebrating a night out in New York City with a visit to a karaoke bar. Using fellow season 29 coach Kelly Clarkson as his backup dancer and hype woman, John Legend rapped Snoop Dogg's "Drop It Like It's Hot" at Baby Grand in the Lower East Side on February 19. I picked a song and I think I'm gonna smash it. Before entertaining the youthful audience, Legend stated in a video posted on The Voice's Instagram stories. I feel like you now consider the rap music I enjoy to be outdated. Are all of you too young to do this? Legend acknowledged the Dogfather himself after he rapped Snoop's 2004 lyrics flawlessly while the audience applauded. Shout out to Snoop Dogg. Snoop, of course, just finished his second season as a voice coach, so it was a true Voice family performance, with comedian and social media star Drusty providing additional backing vocals. The Voice host Carson Daly was also present at the karaoke bar. He was eager to interview Clarkson and Legend about their spontaneous live performances when he visited TVA the next morning and gave an explanation for why he didn't go on stage. I am the host. Performing is not my duty. He deadpanned. I was there to help the inebriated customers. When Clarkson grabbed the stage at the karaoke bar and shouted out to her own big song, "Since You Been Gone," Legend also assumed the role of hype man. She claims that the audience requested the song, not her. Clarkson explained, the audience did that. And Legend described it as the perfect ending to their evening. When it comes to karaoke, Legend stated on TOBAI that he always picks a rap song. "Drop It Like It's Hot" is what I did. As he previously revealed during a coach's roundtable discussion, Legend told Daly on his February 20 interview on TOBA with Clarkson, "My karaoke rule is I only rap because, I'm a professional singer, I'm an amateur rapper." He informed his colleagues coaches, "As I grew older, I decided I wouldn't sing at karaoke and I would only rap. I'm an amateur rapper. It makes me equal with all the amateur singing. That's a good, courteous way for a professional singer to do karaoke," Clarkson said, adding, "It always embarrassed me when people got real about it and they would really sing. So I would always do Tupac or something unexpected." Both Clarkson and Adam Levine praised his approach. After receiving praise from Legend and Clarkson for incorporating a little rap singing into his new album, Levine shrugged and remarked, "I don't know how that happened." Nobody entered that downtown lounge anticipating a moment that would be immortalized online. It was meant to be just another night. Dim illumination. Cozy booths. The little sound of glasses clinking. Strangers took turns singing everything from contemporary pop to old rock on a karaoke screen that was faintly shining in the corner. But the evening became something special, somewhere between a passionate birthday tribute and a somewhat off-key performance of an early 2000s hit. Since John Legend entered, it seemed like a trick of the light at first. A few blinked again, uncertain if they were seeing properly, and looked up from their beverages. The man coming in had on a casual jacket, loose-fitting pants, and an air of self-assurance that didn't require praise. But as soon as he nodded courteously and smiled at the host's stand, the room was electrified with recognition. Whispers became gasps in a matter of seconds. "Is that?" "Indeed, yes it is." One of the most well-known voices in music, John Legend, has just entered a karaoke bar. He didn't come with a group of people. No cameras that flash. Not a word. Just a soft entry and a warm welcome to the employees. He was obviously not there as a publicity stunt. He was having a good time, for musical purposes, simply for the enjoyment of singing without any expectations. Then, for some reason, things improved even further. John and a few companions took their seats in a booth and looked at the stage with real curiosity. He cheered each performer. He clapped when someone hit a challenging chorus and chuckled at notes that were missed. The already vibrant atmosphere started to change. Everyone in their seats sat up. Murmurs of excitement replaced the voices. Phones showed up politely but discreetly. Everyone had the same question. Is he going to sing? The response was unexpectedly prompt. An hour or so into the evening, following the conclusion of an especially spirited group performance, John got up and went to the karaoke host. It was a quick talk. A few words were spoken, a grin, and then, as if nothing had happened, he wrote something down on the digital song request list and went back to his seat. The anticipation in the atmosphere was palpable. The audience froze for a half second. When the following name came up on the screen, John, it stated nothing more. No last name is required. Half laughing, half stunned, the host looked up. "All right, you're up, John." As John Legend got up and walked to the stage, there was a burst of applause. He walked with effortless assurance and a light-hearted demeanor, as though he were entering a private joke that was told to the whole room. He reached for the microphone, made a small adjustment, and grinned out at the audience. "All right," he said softly. "Let's enjoy ourselves." The beat then stopped. The area was filled with the distinct beginning rhythm of "Drop It Like It's Hot." The audience took in what was happening for a brief moment. John Legend. Mellow ballads, piano with soul, love songs with a lot of emotion. Everyone was familiar with the sight. However, he was now in the middle of the stage, getting ready to sing one of the most well-known hip-hop songs, which Snoop Dogg made famous in the first place. Cheers and laughter broke out at the same time. John embraced the moment and nodded in time with the music. He didn't hesitate when the first verse started. His delivery was surprisingly accurate, and his voice flowed naturally with the song's easygoing vibe. Each lyric was delivered flawlessly. All the rhythms were in perfect harmony. He wasn't merely making jokes. He was giving the performance his all attention, and the audience adored it. The surprise song selection wasn't the only thing that made the moment remarkable. It was his self-assurance and happiness when performing. John didn't make an identical attempt to mimic Snoop Dogg. Rather, he respected the original feel while adding his own touch to the song. His delivery was sophisticated yet casual, amusing yet fluid. He followed the beat, occasionally pointing to the crowd to join in on well-known phrases. There was a lot of enthusiastic singing, and some others were laughing in shock at what they were seeing. Encouraged by John's kind demeanor, a few courageous guests even danced close to the stage. The room came together as the chorus sounded. "Drop it as if it were hot." Voices reverberated from the walls, forming an impromptu chorus that was simultaneously disorganized and flawlessly cohesive. With impeccable timing, John jumped back in after letting the crowd take over for a brief minute. There was no denying his command of the performance. Even during a light-hearted karaoke session, his expertise was evident. He stopped for a moment in the middle of the song and laughed. "You guys didn't anticipate this one, did you?" The reaction was loud and instantaneous. "Let's toast. Cheers. Legend," yelled someone close to the front. He went on, completing the course with energy and accuracy. The room erupted in cheers as the last beat faded. Everyone stood. A few people whistled. Others merely chuckled in awe. It was more akin to an unplanned private concert that everyone will remember than a karaoke session. John grinned, shook his head, and made a little bow. "That was enjoyable," he remarked. "You guys made it enjoyable." He took his time leaving the stage. Rather, he lingered, speaking to the presenter and recognizing the audience. There was a tangible sense of community in the room. The customary gap between the audience and the celebrity had vanished for those brief moments. Everyone laughed together, listened to the same music, and shared the same place. The sincerity of the situation was what gave it such a powerful resonance. The staging was simple. No practiced dance moves. Just a well-known artist entering a comfortable, familiar setting and giving it their all. Everyone was reminded that despite the honors and recognition, musicians are still just people who enjoy singing. The mood in the room was still high as John went back to his booth. There was a flutter of enthusiasm in the conversations. People already knew they had captured something unique, so they played back recordings on their phones. However, the tone remained polite. Instead of pandemonium, there was joy. Respect, not encroachment. John continued to interact with the audience for the remainder of the evening. From his position, he cheered on other vocalists and even participated in a couple of group choruses. He once gave a terrified performer a sympathetic nod as they took the stage, which seemed to immediately give them more confidence. The karaoke host went on to say that the night was among the most memorable in the history of the venue. John's interactions with everyone were equally as important as his performance. He didn't command attention or control the evening. He just merged into it. Within hours, clips of the performance started making the rounds on the internet. Short footage showed John grinning as the audience sang along and performing the lyrics with ease. The comments came in fast.